All right, welcome back to the official Flickers podcast. Yes, we have a name now. It is called Flickers Podcast.
Woo! Yay!
And we have a very special guest here today, longtime RIIFF alum, director, writer, and editor, Manya Glassman. Manya, how you doing today?
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh my gosh, of course.
No, it's our pleasure. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
You have been a RIIFF alumni for the past, if I'm not mistaken, since 2016, right?
I love
You've been
that.
coming to RIIFF since 2016, and you even had your own films.
I think 8 films.
I don't know.
films?
No, that's how many she's produced. But we had 4 premiere at RIIFF.
Oh, 4,
World
okay,
premiere
all
at
right.
RIIFF. 4 of your films.
Still impressive. 4 is a great number.
Yeah. But you've
That's
produced
50%.
yeah.
I guess.
You've produced lots of films and directed films, wrote films, I believe, right?
Yes.
And that is true. And I actually, today, I watched your latest film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Private, you watched the
Yeah.
special
You got the
screener.
Well,
Special
because if the Flickers cast, the Flickers fans don't know, we actually review films. We review short films and stuff. So we
Oh,
got
for the festival.
for the
So
festival. So I kind of dig through and found it.
Okay, really nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was
I don't know if we're allowed to
great.
talk
Oh,
about
I'm so
it,
happy
but
that you saw it then before this. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
no, we wanted to,
Definitely.
have some
But
context.
we'll definitely get back to that later. But I think we should just start off.
Yeah, because we have a special guest coming midway through.
Yes.
We won't tell you more.
Yes, but I think we should just start. Can you just introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do?
Totally. So I will be talking to audience and you all
Yeah,
at the
go
same
for
time. My name is Manya Glassman. I'm a director, writer, and producer. I primarily write and direct my own films, and then I like to produce for other people. I grew up in Providence, Rhode Island. I love Rhode Island. I went to Providence College as well for
Go
college.
Friars.
Go Friars. and then after PC, I went to NYU grad film.
Wow.
And so
Awesome.
graduate school at NYU, moved to New York, love New York as well. That's where I'm at this moment.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. So what got you interested in film? Like, what made you want to produce and direct and write?
I've been asked this question before, and it's hard to know like an exact moment. I would like to give my parents credit in the way that like they're both artists. My dad does documentary filmmaking and my mom teaches art history. Wow. And so not just with film, but like I grew up always going to museums and talking about art and visuals. And so alongside that, we watch movies every night. And like when I come home from New York, we still watch movies every night. It's like, what are we watching? It usually takes forever to decide. Yeah. And so, yeah, I grew up just watching a ton of movies essentially. And then at one point I kind of picked up the camera myself and was like trying to get all my friends to act, and, little local places in Providence would participate in some sketches and stuff. And so, yeah.
So who are your director inspirations? Who's someone who you look up to?
That is also something that I've been thinking a lot about recently because I've been asked that question. And I've never actually thought about one specific director that I look up to, honestly, except for probably like Spike Lee, who
Love Spike Lee.
Yeah, and he teaches at NYU, and just like I really admire so many things about his work. I mean, just like he puts all of his energy and passion into like the subject of the film. Yeah. He makes films often, and so a lot of directors will just sort of do like 3 films in their lifetime, and I want to be someone that makes films all the time. And it's not like you're waiting for like a multi-million-dollar budget. Like you can still sort of scrap together what you want to make the story that you need to make. So I admire him a lot. There's a lot of other sort of films that I would love to say are like, inspirational to me in sort of style or subject. But that's different than director,
Yeah.
So yeah.
you just mentioned Spike Lee. I don't know if we're allowed to mention this. If we're not, we'll cut it out. But didn't he produce your latest project?
He executive produced.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Can we say that? Or is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, amazing.
For the short, yeah.
Yeah, so we watched this short. It is so good.
Thank you.
Dare I say, it made me cry at the end.
Oh.
And beautiful music.
Thank you, Zach.
I was like, oh God. I was like, please stop. It's so hard to get me to cry. And I was like, this girl is amazing. And I was like, this is, yeah.
The
So
actress.
I love it. Yes, it was so fun.
I can't wait to hear what you guys think.
I have to say too, my prized possession is my dad's vintage "Do the Right Thing" crew neck. So maybe I'll wear that to the premiere.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Well, yeah, I mean, both things. I'm excited to hear what you guys thought about the film. And then as far as Spike Lee goes, yeah, he's been like an incredible inspiration to
That is so
that's
like
awesome.
the entire world, obviously. But
Yeah.
as someone who is his student, I mean, I also really admire that fact that like he's a famous director, but he still teaches.
That is amazing. And I know a few people who have taken his class, and it's just, to me, it's the coolest thing. Like, you get to learn from Spike Lee. That is, you're learning from the best. You know, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So you've produced, directed, written, correct me if I'm
breaking our
wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, 8 films, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
You're probably right.
Okay,
I
yeah.
can't even-
I did a little
Manya, if you
research.
don't mind me asking, how old are you? Because you
27.
look like a kid. That is, you're 27. That is so impressive.
I look like a kid.
You look, no, I mean, it's, you're,
retinol cream.
yes, SPF.
So
That's incredible. I mean, 8 films by
you.
27. That's
So
amazing.
8 films. They're all short films, I believe, right? Have you ever thought about dipping your toes into the feature film, like the full length?
100%.
And have you like worked on any sets like that? Or?
Yeah, so I actually just produced a feature film in Providence last year, and
wow.
that was incredible to like have the experience of producing that. It's just an entirely different beast.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the short film How I Learned to Die, that's sort of, I guess you would say, like my capstone for it's probably my last short. I mean, for now.
You aced it.
And so
Your swan song.
You passed.
Yeah. I'm making that into a feature film, and
Very cool.
yeah, and so again we can talk about that later. But like it's 20 minutes, and I have a full length feature script of it, and so that's the plan next, is to do feature.
I'm so excited.
So, I mean, you wear many hats. You know, you've done everything from writing to directing to producing. What would you say is your favorite kind of role to play?
Definitely, definitely writer, director. But actually now you're asking specifically between writing and directing then. It's almost impossible to choose. For me, it's like the same thing. Because in an ideal world, like I want to write the screenplay and then
be able to direct it. Yeah, of course.
There are certain stories. I've written some feature scripts that I would be okay to pass on to another director, but then there are some, like How I Learned to Die, where it's just no way. Like I have to direct it. And then likewise, like if there's a really good story, you know, I've been asked to direct somebody else's script, and I love that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you've done all these films. 4 of them played at RIIFF. What's your experience like at RIIFF? And like we said before, you've been coming since 2016. 4 of them showed up. One was the 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Looks like you got a good record going there.
Yeah.
Every year, those years. What was your experience going to RIIFF? And thank you for keep supporting RIIFF and keep coming. But,
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having
Oh,
me.
yeah.
My experience goes back a while. So I mentioned I'm from here.
Right.
And I've always wanted to do film. And so that kind of perfectly ties into my experience at RIIFF, because I think the first one I ever went to, just attending wise, was in 2016.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I believe so. And I remember, I was actually just talking to Sean Quirk about this.
Yeah.
Shout out, Sean.
Shout out, Sean. I remember, I think 2016, what was I? Was like, I'm 27. Oh my God, what's the math on that? 11 years? It's nothing. That's 16. It's like so.
2016
Someone get a
will be
calculator.
9 years.
Yeah. 9 years? I'm so
God.
glad.
I
No, math is not the strong suit.
This is why she directs.
This is why I don't do math.
We're not mathematicians around here.
Could have been a scientist, but I decided against it. So, yeah, I was younger. What can I say? Okay. And so I was young. I was in high school, and I was going to RIIFF, and I thought that was like the height of luxury. Like, I remember going to opening night at PPAC, which is the Providence Performing Arts Center.
Yes.
And it was just luxurious. Like,
oh my God, the cakes. I remember like there was, because there's a VIP area, and like I would look over the red rope, and I was like, wow, look at that cake. It's so nice. I bet like the cake boss did it or something.
Yeah, I mean, from the food to like the actual space was just red velvet, like gold plated.
Yes.
You know, it felt very Hollywood, and everyone's dressed up. It's just a wonderful evening. And so I remember going there in 2016 and just thinking like, oh my God, one day, like I would love to have a film here, you know?
And then it
Goodness,
happened.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
How was your reaction when RIIFF was like, we selected your film?
Yeah.
Well, how was that?
It was
If you remember.
I know. Yeah. I was gonna say it was so well. Yeah, I mean, there was a transition between just attending and then when I started making films and then realizing I could submit.
Yeah.
I remember when I got in, I think that was probably one of the first times where I realized like, oh, this is, like this is a path that I could go down.
Yeah.
Where other people can actually watch it, you know? I mean, that's what's wonderful about festivals is it's like a way that people can watch your movie on a big screen, you know?
And I think it's really extra cool that you were raised in Providence too. You know what I mean? It's like kind of special to have it screening at a festival that takes place in your hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so fun.
It's really cool.
And I want to, I love New York, and I love Rhode Island. It's hard to say like if I love one more or whatever, but
do you live in New York currently?
I live in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
What brings you here today?
Yeah.
Why are you in Rhode Island today?
It's actually my 10-year high school reunion this
Oh
weekend.
my God, so it worked out so well.
Wait, that's perfect.
That's so funny.
It's my 10-year high school reunion tomorw. And
oh my
Saturday.
goodness.
Yeah, so.
Oh, you'll be walking in style.
Yeah, you're going to be blowing them all away.
I filmed How I Learned to Die at my high school last year.
Oh, wait, so what school did you go to if you don't
Moses
mind?
Brown.
Moses Brown, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't dance at Festival Ballet, did you?
I did for like a couple summers, but not
Oh, wow.
as like a member.
I feel like I might have like met you at
Oh,
Festival.
wow.
I thought your face looked familiar.
Really?
Yeah, because I danced at Festival all growing up.
Wait, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I just like you looked very familiar, and I was like, she looks like someone I remember.
How do you
from
how can you
dance.
pick that out?
I don't know. I
That's
heard probably.
But I see that. I almost feel like you kind of look familiar too.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. I'm really not just saying
We're
that.
old friends,
No,
guys.
what is that? What is that festival?
Well, now they're Ballet Rhode Island, I think, but
It's
it was.
just a ballet group.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
So
sorry, it's a
anyway, that's
rerun.
all
But
we made
anyway,
up
that's
for.
very
Yeah.
cool. I just,
Alright.
yeah.
Back on track, these ballet girls.
Yeah.
We're rekindling
We're gonna
relationships
dance
they never
after
knew
this.
they had. So yeah, No Place Like Home, Sophia's Tapestry. I'm gonna skip that one. How do you say that one?
Acquiescence.
Acquiescence and Deep Tissue.
I thought I go visual reflections.
No. So those are the ones that premiered at RIIFF.
Yeah.
Scout actually has attended RIIFF those years, and
Yeah.
I think you've probably seen all of those. I don't know if you can recollect any of those. I know you've watched so many films
There's
at these things.
I know.
But out of the ones that've been selected, out of my personal interest, which one was like you were most excited got selected because you put so much heart in it? I know you put so much heart in every single one, but which one were you like, oh my God, this is the one I really wanted to get accepted, and it actually got selected?
You know what? Actually, it was I don't remember if you just named this, but the Taste of Time, I think, was. It's so hard to remember, but I think that might have been like the very first one because. That was at the Providence College Film Festival, and like whoever won the Providence College Film Festival automatically went. So I didn't actually even submit it, but it was like the fact that I won the Providence College and then it
so
automatically
fun.
went. I think that was the one that I.
Oh,
I mean, that was
very
just
cool.
the first that I was so excited about.
Yeah,
And it was like the fact
yeah.
that mine got in,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, definitely the first was the most exciting, but then. I mean, right now, How I Learned to Die is the film I'm most proud of. Yeah.
Let's get you an Oscar.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about How to Learn to Die. Can you give a little synopsis to the fans and your family, everybody, and when will it come out? When they'll see it and stuff like that?
Yeah. So How I Learned to Die is about a 16-year-old girl named Iris who finds out she has a 60% chance of dying in 4 days. And it is a comedy. And so I should mention that at the beginning. It's a coming of age comedy drama. And she essentially goes on this journey of creating a bucket list of like teenage shenanigans, like first kiss, get drunk, drive without a license. And so we follow her on that journey and what she discovers and how people around her are, handling the situation.
It is so good. I loved it so much. And I can tell, like, after watching it, how much time you put into it, how much heart you put into it, and even the song choices.
Oh yeah.
And should we? I
Sure,
think we have a special guest that might be
Speaking
here.
Speaking of song choices,
Maybe we should go.
Should I go?
Luke, can you go grab the composer? We have the composer. Maybe you can give a little intro while we're getting him.
Yes. So this is wonderful that he's in town. He lives in Florida.
Oh my goodness.
This is lined up perfect.
Is it his high school reunion too?
Oh my gosh. But actually, and I should mention this. So this is my composer for the last 4 films, and he is also my uncle.
He's also your uncle.
Yes, my uncle and my composer,
Luke,
Randall.
Unmute them.
Hi, Uncle Randall.
Exactly. That's what I call him.
Hello.
Randall.
We're just talking about the new film, How I Learned to Die, how amazing it is, and the song choices. But also, I'm assuming there's some piano mixed in there. Was that you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's such an integral. I feel like that was such an important part of the
Yes.
film. How did you come up with that? The little piano,
Well,
the sounds.
They hadn't shot the scenes yet. I got the script ahead of time, and I just was getting kind of the tone of it, and I just sat down and I started composing a piece, which the way I compose is I just start playing.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes out, and that's what happened, and that's the track they used.
I loved it. I loved it.
It just worked.
I mean, I have a lot to say about this. I have said in the past that the music is my favorite part of the process of making films is music.
It's 50%.
Well, I always, because I want to, I'm an actress, but if I couldn't act, I would love to score movies because it's such an integral part. Like, it really can make or break a film.
It does.
The score.
And it's what makes the movie a movie. Mm-hmm. And like, obviously there's the music choices that you choose, like the Bon Iver song that I have in it, but then there's the score. And, Randall and he's being like so humble when he's like, I just did it. And but it's incredibly hard. And so like specifically in the film, and this is with How I Learned to Die, but it's also with the other ones that he's composed, which were Sophia's Tapestry, Deep Tissue, and Acquiescence.
Wow, so those are all RIIFF films as well.
Yes. So
maybe it has something to do with the composer as well.
He composed all of them.
That's phenomenal.
And like something that I think really is important in films is there's usually like a theme song, right?
Right, exactly.
And especially with certain characters. And so it's... I think that music is like, it's what pulls the strings to your heart, you know? And so with Randall's song, we wanted a theme. We wanted a theme song. And I knew that I wanted something simple, right?
Very simple melody.
Yeah, just a couple of notes on the piano. And then he essentially did that and then created sort of like riffs. Riff is funny.
Riff. Riffing at riff.
Yeah. He would do like different variations essentially of that same one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
So you guys are family.
Yes.
You've been working together for a while.
You can say it. We go back a long way. We know each other. Yes. I when I used to play the piano, she would be like 2.5, and she would like be dancing in front of the piano. And,
I love that.
And then she started making short little movies, probably before she even got out of elementary school.
Wow.
And then when she got serious, she needed some original music. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Did you ever think you were going to be scoring films?
Not exactly. I had thought about it because some famous artists have moved on to do that, and so I've thought about that.
So fun.
And I remember one time I had to play. You can stop me if I'm going too far.
No.
But I had to show up and play for a play at the school, and they just wanted me to make it up as I went along.
Oh my God.
And so I thought, I love that.
I know, but that's
I mean, that's pretty
because
fun.
I knew the basics like evil, Darth Vader, dun dun dun, minor key, Princess Leia, major key, happy,
that's so fun.
suspense, dissonance, triumph is like fourths, so I knew kind of some of these recipes, and so when she asked me would I consider doing some music for her movies, it was a no-brainer.
That is so
and
fun.
they call it composing. I just call it, I get to make stuff up. Break it down.
I can imagine.
That's so modest though, because again, it is a big part of the movie. You take notice of the score, so it's, congratulations, and
His brain just works different.
I mean, that's how it,
Like, I could never even begin to, like, I'm sometimes worried that the task is too hard, and then he always pulls through,
That's so cool.
And it is really interesting. I mean, obviously the importance of music is just so important. And like, for example, there will be a scene that's like happy, like family time happy, and then with Randall, it's not like we want happy music behind it. Like, if it's a little bit more, I don't know, I hate to use the word, for example, like sad, but like something is more sad about it, then it somehow makes a scene feel like nostalgic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's, it's just, he's what creates the mood.
So for a final question, I want to ask, we're all about helping people out. Where can people contact you or get to work with you, if that's even a possibility?
Follow your journey on social media.
And then, what is your end goal after doing all these films? Like, what do you want your name on? What do you want the stamp? You know what I mean? What's your end goal?
Well, first of all, you can feel free to follow me, on Instagram. It's my name, Manya Glassman. And the film has an Instagram as well, How I Learned to Die.
Follow it.
And I post all the time, so
and do you
can keep me updated.
I was gonna say, do you know when it's premiering at RIIFF yet?
I do not know yet. RIIFF. It is premiering at Tribeca.
Cool.
June 6th. And then it will be at RIIFF in August. But TBD on the date.
TBD.
And so I kind of look at it step by step. And so first, the goal is to make the feature. So I've done this 20-minute short. It's a proof of concept for a feature film. I have the feature film, ready to go. And so I want to film that. And then after that, I have the next movie. And then after that, I have the next movie. And
just
that
keep going.
Is the end goal. And like, similar to the story that I made, I really do see life almost in a constant, like, okay, I've reached this point, and like, I'm very happy to have reached this point.
Yep.
And then you say, well, what's the next? And then you are constantly sort of checking in with, like, if I were to tell myself 10 years ago that I was doing this, like, I would be very happy at where I am.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
And I just want to shout out to, like, I mean, I think women directors are such badasses, and so just like seeing all you've done in film, from writing to directing to producing, is just very cool and very inspiring. So
yes, you're definitely someone to look up to, and like, it's not even just RIIFF that you've been accepted to. You've been accepted to multiple film festivals.
I mean, this film's gonna be at Tribeca.
Yeah,
too,
I know. Like, this is so amazing. You are like Zach, putting your name out, and I'm so...
Right, Zach's a hype man. I'm like, I'm just going to put him in my pocket.
No. So, like, keep doing what you're doing. I'm so excited to see your future.
Too.
Yeah. Keep typing those keys.
Randall is like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, and thank you for coming. I'm so glad this ended up working out.
It's amazing
with
that it
2
worked
people.
out,
Yeah.
so you guys could both be on here.
So what brought you to Rhode Island, actually? I want to ask that.
Well, they're up here, so when I want to see them, I have to come up here.
Oh my goodness, it all worked out. Okay.
His sister, my mom.
Oh, that's so fun. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you for being here.
We are so excited to see what the future holds. Oh, well, thank you for coming.
I'll see you at RIIFF.
We'll see you at RIIFF.
We'll see you guys at RIIFF.
We'll see you at RIIFF.
Yeah.
See you there.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. That was so fun.
Awesome.